Hello people, just here on another review. It's on a Colibri flip top pump action lighter. There's not much information on it. There's more information just on Colibri, if you know what I mean, than the actual lighter. And there is information on lighters with the same name, not Firebird, Colibri Firebird, but Colibri pump. Pump action or pump or whatever, and they're gas, so I can't get any info on it really, but I can sort of give you a little bit of info on Colibri itself, just a little bit, because I know you can get it up on Google if you need to know. I know a guy called Julius Lowenthal. He founded the company in 1928, I think it is, 1928. Yeah, and then it, just went on from there really. The first lighter he produced and sold, I think, were called the Colibri Original. And he introduced that in Germany, I think. In Germany first, sold it there. And then soon after that, I think, they moved to London. Opened shop in London. And I think after that, it was Colibri, Colibri, Menopol or something like that, I think it was called. Yeah, Monopol, Colibri Monopol. I think that was in like 1935 or something. And then, what did they? I think like a bit after that. Obviously it were towards like the war, weren't it? In 40s. And I know they did sell. I think they made a few for the soldiers. I can't remember what it was called. Something War Horse. Recall now. Let me have a think. What it called? I like this up. Yeah, but they did make a certain one. For the soldiers. And you know what? It really came in hand for them, I think. I think that's how it worked. I can't remember what it was called at all. Really can't remember. Let's turn this TV down a bit. But yeah, it's they really like they did later after that, after the war, in the 70s, when Man with the Golden Gun, James Bond. They used one in that called the Colibri 88, I think it was called. And that were really famous because I think it was like an electric lighter, I think it were, if I'm right there. And it was a smart looking lighter. Colibri 88, I think it was called. Yeah, so the what were it called? The Storm Guard. That was it, Storm Guard for the soldiers. Storm Guard lighter. Then later on after that, started revolutionising in like, window. So you can see the window of the gas, with I think they started off with one of the piezo mechanism, revolutionising that, and made like, lighters without like batteries. and flint wheels. You just need, all you need is, you know, electric. And that was a piezo system, I think. And obviously bond and all that lot as well. They did that later. The 88, the Colibri 88. And after that, I think they started doing like cufflinks, pens. They did all sorts of stuff. And then they started aiming on cigar lighters and stuff like that. And then they got bought out in 2010 and kept going on. And they evolved a little bit more with this new company. And that's about it, really, a lot of the history. So Julius Lowenthal, I think he first sold the first lighter called the Colibri Original. Then later on, the Monopole. Then after that, to the Storm Guard in World War II. So they really were a top name, and they did move to London. That's a bit of Swedish background, German background. And moved to London. For that, the design, obviously. You know, so they had a lot of, got a lot of history. You know, 1928 goes back quite a bit, that, doesn't it? I know it's not a lot, you know, really, really long back, but it is a good history and they're very well built. I like this. No, I'm not doing it with my matches. I'll do it with maybe the lighter that I'm going to show you. So let's just show you the old box. It's an old vintage stock. You can't get any information on it really other than other ones like jet fuel, you know, like butane ones and stuff like that, but they're not like this. They're like click electric ones, you know. So I'll just show you. It come like that, obviously in a parcel. I filled it up the other day. It was a little bit temperamental, so I took the wick out, and it's about that much wick. So it's called the pump. It's called the Colibri Pump Action, and that's all I know. And it does say Firebird underneath it on the plastic bottom of the brass where you fill it with petrol. But I'll show you now. And then it's not like, it's called a pump because it pumps the petrol through instead of a wick. But it's got a tiny wick on the top, so it pumps through and then goes through to the wick, to the little bit of wick that goes in the top. And I'll put a new little wick in the top because it were being a little bit temperamental. Remember, it's been stood for some years. I think it's come from an old tobacco shop. I'll slide it out. Just move my lighter and crap like that. Move that out of the way. So we've got an old box like that. I'll just open it up. Oh no, we're that way, sorry. Stupid. Wrong way. You've got it inside there. You've got your sleeve out sleeve. And you've even got this old sponge here, and it's even got a little bit like of a funny colour at the top of here of the sponge. Now it's just been sat in a tobacco shop probably for quite a long time. You see the way it's tinted there, look. You still got like your guarantee and stuff, but that's obviously not still in use because they sold, you know, they got bought out in 2010. So this is probably long before then when it got made. You got your Colibri inside there, look. Your warranty and all that. I won't show you all that, you know, you've just got all your detailing in there. Put that to the side a minute. You got your Colibri. Then you've got this beauty. Look how nice this is. Never seen another one. I've seen a couple online for sale now. It is called the Colibri Pump Action, of what I know. That's what it were titled as. And the reason why it's called the Pump Action is you've got a button here. And you just, I think you're meant to like press it before you use it. So it goes up through the tube in there, up to your wick inside. You see-through barrel. So you've got your fuel in it. You take this off here. I've got to say, the thread on this, quite hard to put it back in like online. You know what I mean? Like straight. But once you got it sorted, it lined up and went in. It's very well built, really well built. But I've never seen it like this. I know there'll be other lighters like it, but I've not got any like this, like a pump one. You can press it there. Look, press it there on the button. But I'm thinking if you press it too much, it floods it a little bit. So it were being a bit temperamental when I first used it. So I've put a new little bit of wick in. It's only about that much wick inside, so you've got to feed it in. It's quite hard putting it in. But I'll open it up. You've got Firebird and Korea. It says Korea under here. Firebird and Korea. I don't know if you can see it. It's on that side actually. Firebird, Korea. But yeah, you got your. So in there, you tear it up and just fill it up with petrol. Let's see if it works there. I did fill it up. You've got a nice noise as well. It's a different noise to like a Zippo out. I'll show you. Wick on top. See if it works. There you go. You've got a 3-pin. 3 big chunky pins. Barrels, sorry. On there. With a nice chunky pin going through it. You see? So it's all one. Nothing slides out. This is an absolute beauty as well. I couldn't see how like the change of flint, the wick or anything. There's no wick going down it. But if you look at this, your flint, you pull it like that. And it comes out like that, look. I have put a new flint in it now. It's absolutely beautiful, like. So well built. So well built. And then you just put your flint in, put it in like that, flip it down, and on your way. Seems to be working okay at the minute. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit more temperamental sometimes if you flood it out maybe with petrol, if you press it too many times, but you don't have to press it all the time when you use it, I don't think. I think that's the way you use it. Just use it as normal, like a Zippo. Look, you see how it's sort of just struggling a little bit there, but it's, it's a nice, beautiful lighter. Nice sound to it as well, isn't it? A bit lighter noise, more of a little ting. But it is a little bit temperamental. But yeah, it's a beautiful lighter. Let me see if I pump it. See if I just give it a little pump like that. There you go. Just takes it to come through the wick a little bit. And this is like, on the spot genuine review on it, innit? It's good on fuel as well. There's no like cotton inside it, no wool, should I say. No wool inside it. Very well built, nice and solid. Definitely one to get to collection if you can get one. I just know it as the Colibri Firebird pump action. Because it says Firebird at bottom there on the plastic bit. But it's an absolutely gorgeous lighter. I'll put all this back in to the box. Let's look at it. It must have been sat on a shelf for ages. It's got like a staining up top there. Beautiful box. all your stuff in there. Something like that. I don't know what that is. Might be the weight of it. All 159 gram. Old barcode on there, look. I'm on licorice skins. Sorry people, the battery was just going then. So I had to plug it in. But yeah, it's I'm on licorice skins. Juicy J's. I put a bit of old Golliff and Hogarth in it. Dark blend. Really nice, bitter, strong, but not too harsh. It's got a bitter taste. Nice, dark Indian leaf. Really nice. But yeah, get yourself one. Definitely worth one, you know, if you're a light collector. And we'll see if it works again, eh? Oh, bit of, there we go, look. It's running nice again. Sometimes you just got to let it sit for a minute. But get yourself one. You know, there's a little bit of history I told you on it, but some of it might not be as precise as I said. You know, there might be a few little mistakes, but it's just off what I remember. There's a lot more detail about them, but not about this specific lighter though. I can't find any anyway. If you do know anything about it, please tell me something in comments. If you know when it was made or anything on it, it'd be really good if you can let me know, people. Anybody in the comments. But I do love it. It's got a nice light noise to it. It's so well built, solid. There's no movement in the lid whatsoever. You've got the three chunky barrels on the back of there. Really chunky barrels. I mean, really chunky. I don't know if you can see it properly there. You've got these, they're like fake air vents on top. You've got like a silver, you've got your gold, and you've got your silver button there, look. Almost pump a little bit of petrol through the little tube at the top there, because there's no wick going to it. So obviously, that's why sometimes you might have a little pause on when you're striking it. But normally, first time, you might have a few little temperamental problems with it here and there. But again, it's probably a lifetime lighter if that doesn't crack the plastic bit. We'll see over time, you know, but I don't think it will unless you really something really solid goes over it or something. But, you know, you've got your solid brass top. Yeah, a couple of little strikes, but beautiful one to the collection, people. Get yourself one. If you can find one, I got this off eBay, off a seller that I've had a couple of. I've had a couple of. No, I haven't had any lighters off this seller actually, but he had a few on there. There weren't much info on it other than Colibri pump action. I think that's how it were listed. See how it's. There you are. But yeah, it's a nice thing. Get yourself one. Definitely get yourself one if you're a light collector. This is beautiful as well. Quite a fast burner. Quite thick licorice skins, Juicy J's. Nice flaky ash, but quite thick. Look at a bit of gum coming open a bit. Yeah, the gum's not the best on these juicy J's sometimes. It's all like, you know, natural, I think, a lot of it. But yeah, try and get yourselves one. There is one that comes in chrome, I think, like a chrome one as well. I might get one of them if I can get my hands on one, but I do prefer the brass colour. The lid does it slams down like that. It's really well built. No wobble on the lid at all. You know, it's a good lighter. Cool thing. I think Zippo should try and do one of these. A Zippo with a see-through barrel somehow. So when you insert it, it's see-through, so you can see what petrol you've put in it. I don't know how they do it, but it'd be a nice new one for them, wouldn't it? Maybe with a wick going through it right to into the tank. There you go, people. Colibri. Go back some time. I'll put it that way. Always works that way. Because feels comfortable in hand that way. When I'm backwards that way. That way. Look, see how it's some kind of flood a little bit, but a few strikes, it's right. Just needs work. It just needs using really, more than out. So there you go. Colibri lighter. Get yourself one. Try and get yourself one, and there's other ones out there that are really nice Colibri. I've got a few others to do reviews on, so I'll get back to you guys. And yeah, there you go, pump action. See you later, people.